Welcome back to Real Legends episode 30.
We did it. We made it to 30.
30 episodes, 30 movies, 30 deep dives.
A lot of average movies, very few really good movies, and a handful of stinkers. So it's been pretty good, actually. The fact that we've had a lot of average, above average movies.
Yeah, certainly tried to pick some good ones, but yeah, and then we also picked some we hadn't seen before and some that we heard were good, but yeah, there's been some bombs. The Aviator. Oof. We tried watching Blazing Saddles, but we didn't end up even watching it.
Couldn't finish it.
We I don't remember what we watched in its place. Was it Aviator?
Was it Alien?
It might have been Aviator, actually. I don't know. But,
it was Good Will Hunting, I think.
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't know. We're going to get into tonight's movie, but before we do, did you have the old list of 21st century movies you want to talk about?
I do have that list.
Let's do it. We're going to give our takes on best movies of the 21st century.
So the first 5, I'm very particular about the order.
Yeah.
But the rest are in no particular order. So the first 5 are Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. Second one is Return of the King. And third one is Two Towers.
Really?
So,
putting Return of the King above Two Towers.
I do like Return of the King more than Two Towers.
Yeah.
Not by much, but I do.
There's some things to love about it for sure.
And then number 4 is Interstellar. And then number 5 is Rogue One.
Wow.
Those are my top 5.
Okay. I'll give you mine top 5. It's very similar to yours.
Yeah.
Fellowship of the Ring, Two Towers, Return of the King, Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Yep.
Epic trilogy, epic movies. And we're going to review those, I think, this next year.
I'd love to.
And then we got Interstellar at number 4. Master and Commander was my number 5.
That's a great movie.
Yeah.
I do have it on here.
And then you might be surprised at my 6 and 7. But they're 2 of my favorite movies. But this starts to dive into the animation. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
People love those movies, dude.
Dude, they are incredibly
I've never seen them.
incredible. Never seen them? What?
No.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Bro.
Very, yeah.
Dude. Well, I don't want to overhype it for you. I think they're awesome. You should go in thinking they suck. And see what you think.
Well, I've only heard good things about them, so.
Funny thing is, in film school, my friend of mine took me to see the first one. I had no desire or plans to see it. He's like, no, trust me, you should see this. And I went to the theater, and it was so fun. Such a fun theater experience. Yeah, and then after that, what do you got on your list? Just shout them out.
This is in no particular order. Inception, Braveheart, WALL-E, Iron Man, The Incredibles, 1917, Hacksaw Ridge, the first Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire, Master and Commander, Pirates of the Caribbean 1, Pirates of the Caribbean 2, How to Train Your Dragon, Nightcrawler, Castaway, Batman Begins, The Avengers, the first one, and Tangled.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a wild list. Some of those I've never even seen, like Nightcrawler, but I've heard, I know what it's about.
It's very good.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies that at the end you don't feel great, and you're like, wow, what a yucky movie, but I always think about it. It's such a good movie.
No Dark Knight, huh?
I actually like Batman Begins more than Dark Knight.
Yeah, I like Batman Begins. I think The Dark Knight's a better made film in some ways. It's really good. But yeah. I'll throw out some of mine. I've got what year did Braveheart come out? I don't think that came out in the 21st century. I think you
Am I wrong there?
might have missed that one.
1995. Shucks. Oh, I'm getting rid of it.
It's all right. All right, so mine, no particular order. I've got Hunt for the Wilder People. Great, heartwarming comedy. I've got The Bourne Identity, one of my favorite movies as far as just like, I love the concept of a spy who has, like a super spy that has no idea who he is. He's trying to figure it out. I think it's a great premise. Catch Me If You Can, The Dark Knight, Casino Royale. Have you seen Casino Royale?
Very good.
Okay. Batman Begins, The Prestige, which we reviewed, Moneyball, The Last Samurai, Nacho Libre, Inception, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, Ocean's 11, Cinderella Man, Ford versus Ferrari, Iron Man, and Rogue One.
I'm putting Nacho Libre on my list. That's a great call.
Yeah, that's one we reviewed on the show. Let's see. We gave
good.
that one an 8 combined score.
Yeah.
8 from me and a 9 from you. So,
yeah, it's a good movie.
Good movie. Yeah, that's fun. That's cool that we had some differences on our lists. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely we'll have to do... Dang, we haven't gotten into animated movies yet, but I definitely would love to watch the Spider-Man movies with you.
I would love to watch all the Spider-Man movies because there's so many now. And I'd like to actually
rank them.
See if I'm right when I have Tobey Maguire so high. Because, man, I have those, but they might just be nostalgia.
Which one? The first one in particular?
First movie, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know from just like the... what would you say? Just like the culture that people really love the second one with Doc Ock. Like they say that's like the best superhero movie or the best Spider-Man movie, or sometimes they say
you can't beat Green Goblin, man. Your choice, Spider-Man.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, cool.
Well, we have basically the top is the same though.
Yes.
Lord of the Rings, obviously, and then Interstellar there next to it.
I mean, Quentin Tarantino, I don't know how you don't have Lord of the Rings or Interstellar on your top 5.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Or even top 20, I should say, actually.
It wasn't even there. How could you not put Lord of the Rings there, but put Star Wars, put Toy Story there?
Some of the lists I looked at, too, were just crazy. Some of these movies were not up there in the top 10 or 20.
I would agree.
Because I looked at some lists from, like, I think it was Variety or somewhere, ranking the top movies of the 21st century, and just wacky, dude.
I looked at a bunch of them as well, actually, and I went through and there was one that was like 100, 500, and I looked through like 3 different websites, and I agreed with almost none of them.
Yeah.
Which I think is cool because everybody can have a different opinion on movies, but like at the end of the day, they know I'm right.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, but they're retarded. No, yeah,
exactly.
I was waiting for the punch. I was like, wait, is he serious?
Way too positive of a take.
No, it's true. I know we have a certain taste here on Real Legends, but I think we give some good points of why we like or don't like movies, and we'd love to hear feedback from you all. You know, what your take is on our take.
Hear why you're wrong.
Yeah, and just
cool.
Bully you. So, love to bully you.
Make sure you subscribe.
We'd love your subscription. Love for you to share the show. I gotta turn the heat off in here. It's burning.
It is very warm.
On that note, as we wrap up this year of 2025, and also the Christmas season, I just thought I'd shout out some of my favorite Christmas movies. And if you want to shout out any of yours, you're welcome to. The 3 movies that I only cared about watching this year were Klaus, The Man Who Invented Christmas, and Christmas Vacation.
I've only seen one of those.
You've never seen Chevy Chase in Christmas Vacation?
No.
I feel like that'd be right up your alley.
Really?
Holy crap. It's not too late. It's still kind of Christmas. We should just watch it. we should watch it.
Chevy Chase?
It's so funny.
What a goofy name.
Chevy Chase? You don't know Chevy Chase?
Chevy Chase?
Yeah, you know
Chevy Chase. I thought it was Chubby Chase. Oh my gosh, he's from, what show is he on?
So many shows. The Three Amigos, Spies Like Us.
He did a movie with Rodney Dangerfield?
Where?
Caddyshack?
Oh, yeah, he did.
I love Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah, you've shown me some of his
funny.
Comedy. Yeah, he's been in movies for a long time.
He's from the TV show Community.
Right, he's in Community.
He's the funniest character on that show. He's the old racist.
Right, so dude. Oh my gosh, we gotta watch. We're turning around. We're canceling the pod. We're going to watch Christmas Vacation. But yeah, those are some of my favorites. And you want to shout out anything from this year or Christmas movies?
Well, I love Klaus. That's a classic.
Instant classic.
I watched How the Grinch Stole Christmas for the first time.
Jim Carrey?
With Jim Carrey, yep. This weekend. And it was very fun.
You liked it?
It was very fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
It's a very, 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 very fun movie. And like the set that they make is super cool. Mm-hmm. His whole like house looks amazing. Yeah, I thought it was a great movie. I thought it was really fun.
Nice. That's cool, man. You're a freaking loser. Freaking hate that movie.
Do you really?
No.
Okay.
I'm like above average on it, but not like super stoked on it. Like I'd watch it and it's fun, and Jim Carrey's a wacko,
Absolutely.
like he always is.
Yeah.
But yeah, not one I need to watch it every year.
It wasn't one that I was thinking about much afterwards, but when I was watching it, I was having a ton of fun watching it.
Yeah,
Thought it was funny.
Totally could see that. All right, man. Well, cool. I guess we'll get into the nitty gritty then. This year, as we push into 2026, we're going to try some new things with the pod. And yeah, we'll announce that as it comes. But in the meantime, I'm your host, Bo.
I'm Dan.
And tonight's movie is Black Hawk Down, directed by Ridley Scott and starring almost everyone.
Seriously.
We've got Josh Hart, Eric Bana, Ewan McGregor, Tom Hardy, Orlando Bloom, William Fichtner, Jason Isaacs, Ty Burrell, who's in that Modern Family movie show. Not a fan of that show. But yeah, the list goes on and on. So many actors. We kind of decided to do this movie also in conjunction with Quentin Tarantino putting this as his number one of the 21st century. So we thought we'd give it a go, eh?
Wow.
This
I don't know, like, why he liked this one so much. I thought it was a good movie, but it's not the number one. Not even close.
Yeah. I know in his, like, little, like, the text I read from the conversation, it was specifically, like, he was very impressed that someone was able to direct this, which I can see. There's a lot of people, a lot going on, and a lot to pull together to make, like, a cohesive movie.
Yeah.
Because we watched, like, what was it, 13 Hours? Was that the movie we watched? The fighting one? With Jim from The Office.
Yeah.
And like that one to me like feels a little jumpy, like it's not a very consistent, cohesive story. Whereas this one, there's so much going on and I feel like I never lose track of what's happening. But yeah, let's get your initial thoughts before we jump into spoilers.
I like the movie. I think that if you're really, really into a military flick, just for the sake of it being badass and tough and violent, this is like the perfect movie for you. Because it has violence upon action upon flanking upon action upon
explosion.
Yeah, like this movie pulls no punches.
Yeah. Very gritty. I think for the most part very sobering and semi-realistic.
Yeah. Which for the record I liked. I love that kind of stuff. I think where the movie kind of lacks for me is I don't feel like the story is very compelling. Like the whole time I'm watching it, I'm just feeling frustrated and annoyed.
Yeah, which I totally get that. I think that's almost the point. I think this is like a very fumbled piece of history, like, you know, what happened with this general and this operation, that it is a very frustrating movie because it's just a very frustrating piece of history where we did something that was not wise and it got a lot of our people killed and just a big cluster.
Yeah, exactly. And when I watch a movie, I don't want to feel frustrated. I don't want to feel like I have to yell at the TV. I kind of want there to be like a triumphant cause, insurmountable odds, and then you're able to overcome that through, you know, working hard or like kind of like a positive message. But this one, I guess, is more of a cautionary tale movie where it's just like, yeah, we really screwed up. And it's like the whole time you're watching, it's just like, oh, please stop. And then it keeps going and you're like, gosh, I just feel so much for these men and their wives and their children. Like, it's brutal.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a very different movie than we've watched before. I think, although we have seen some movies that are kind of more cautionary tales, this one's a gritty war movie and kind of modern war movie that we haven't really touched on yet.
Yeah.
And I want to get into some thoughts about just generally with movies and warfare and how it's Hollywood's used movies to even promote, like, I guess the army and warfare and that we're the good guys and that war is cool. because as I've dug into some history, it seems like, I mean, nobody wants to kill people. No one likes killing people, I think, at least for the most part. I'll say that broadly. But Hollywood sure did a job of like making, even very far back in history, of making war look cool and making Americans look like it's awesome and we're the good guys. And yeah, it's kind of interesting, the propaganda there in Hollywood. I just think it's interesting that movies like this, and especially movies like Saving Private Ryan, they really show you like how uncool and glorious war is.
Yeah.
I think the other one more than this one, but yeah.
Yeah. I definitely think that there's truth to America being the good guys. In almost every single war that we've been in, we've been on the right side. But it is interesting, though, that you bring up, like, that it does look cool. And it, like, will inspire people to want to, like, go into more battles. And it's fascinating looking back, because when I was a kid, I remember my dad voting for Romney. And, like, one of the things he talked about is, like, well, he's going to help defend the country. And I just kind of felt like, yeah, defend the country, whatever. But it's interesting because that meant troops in the Middle East, right? And I get the argument of, like, if you don't stop it there, it will spread. But the older that I've gotten, the more frustrated I felt with the wars of the past, especially with this one. Like, I watched this and it boils my blood because this was not our fight. Like, there's a scene... Can we get into spoilers?
Yeah, let's jump into spoilers.
There's a scene... Like, the very beginning of the movie, they kidnap this guy, and the guy says to the American, this isn't your fight. This is a civil war. Go home. You shouldn't be here. Mm-hmm. And the guy's response is, well, we'll just kill you. And it's like, that wasn't really much of a retort to his argument. But it's true. Like, if people are dying in Somalia because their country is ran like trash... we shouldn't send in American troops to die with them. Like, let them figure it out themselves. And if the UN is honestly that worried about it, then send in UN troops. Don't send in Americans. If Europe is so worried that crazy Islamic terrorists are going to come blow up their buildings and kill their people, then they...
Close your freaking border, then.
Close your border and you go fight them.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have to. Like, it is very frustrating to see, like, Americans in the streets of Mogadishu getting mowed down. All for what? You know?
Yeah, definitely.
And that's what the movie, like, is so frustrating to me about. Like, the whole time they're there, I'm just asking myself, why are they there? Why are we here? Why are they fighting this battle? And then we're so moral that as soon as one of our helicopters goes down, we have to go and send even more people after it. And then another one goes down, and we have to send even more people after it. And it's like... it's just a never-ending spiral, and because we're so moral and so good, we have to go and keep, like, no one is left behind kind of a thing. But then you end up killing 19 people and wounding countless others instead of just letting them deal with it themselves.
Yeah. Do you feel like there was a real story or protagonist in the movie? I know we've talked about how a protagonist usually is the one driving the action. But I think it's a little harder with this one. I don't necessarily feel like... the person I feel like who's the protagonist, I don't feel like he's really driving the action necessarily. I think maybe some choices he makes does, but not too much. Thoughts?
Yeah, I would say that it follows a lot of different people. But if you had to pick one, it would be Eversman, the big softy.
I agree.
I thought they'd focus more on him, honestly, but they jumped around so much to so many different men, and I think that's probably why Quentin actually liked the movie a lot, is because, like you said, it takes a lot of skill to take all of these different characters and mesh them into one movie.
Yeah, definitely. Seems daunting for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Like, Eversman, I feel like, is the protagonist of the movie, in as much as there is one, maybe. I'll think about it as we just talk about it more, but and he does make some choices, just trying to get his men out that get injured, that fell from the helicopter, and trying to get to the crash site to secure it. He does do a lot trying to save his wounded man that bleeds out, but I don't feel like he's really driving a lot of the action. I guess the movie's more about the event more than maybe one character, right? And that's why we get so many people involved. Overall, I feel like it stuck with me when I saw it in the past, because at the end where he's like, my friend asked me what I think I'm some sort of hero going out here to fight. And he says, like, no, like, I would say heck no, but it turns out sometimes there are heroes. And he's kind of referring to how his friend died trying to help another soldier. That part of it is like the part of the movie that I appreciate. People like Hoot, even though it's a messed up situation and maybe we shouldn't be there, them trying to help each other and that brotherhood and sacrifice is something to inspire.
I was going to say, I loved Hoot's comment at the end where he's like, it's not about the love of war, it's about battling with your brothers.
Yeah, the man next to you.
Yeah.
It just definitely makes me feel like we should be pulling out as many countries as possible and securing our own borders.
Absolutely.
And cleaning up our own country and getting people out of here that hate it or trying to hurt people or are hurting people, because there is plenty of it happening here in our own country. And instead we're spending lives somewhere else to fight someone else's conflict. That really, like, also was mentioned, like you said in the movie, like, well, I think later in the movie that when the guy's talking to the pilot that they take captive, right? He's like, it doesn't matter if you take out our general. You think that we're just going to stop fighting? We're just going to lay down arms? We're going to take up the American way? It's like, no, we're going to keep fighting. There's no peace until there's victory.
He literally said, we do not want your democracy.
Right.
It's like, listen to him.
And we won't stop fighting.
Yes.
We're going to still hate our neighbor, or we're going to still hate Christians, or we're still going to hate other people that think or act differently than us, and we're still going to kill each other.
Yeah.
So you being here doesn't change any of that.
Yep. I mean, you look at pretty much, there's a few exceptions to that rule. Korea is one of them. We gave Korea their government, and Japan is another one. We gave Japan their government.
Right, but Japan had to be brought to their knees with, atomic bombs before.
And there was an actual structure above them already. And the people they were at least somewhat civilized, where they had like organized, kind of like the emperor was on top, and then below him there were people, and then below them, and it was like there was a structure.
Right.
And that civilization had lived for thousands of years before Europeans had ever gotten there. But you look at a place like Somalia or Iraq or Afghanistan, and these people are living in 400 BC. Like, they're throwing rocks at each other and jumping around like animals. And it's like, they're not ready. They're not capable of dealing with a democracy because they haven't had that rich history of it developing naturally, or like any kind of civilizing. I mean, there's a scene in the movie where they're like running up to him in the helicopter and he's like defending himself. They literally look like animals.
Right.
They're throwing all around, and then when they finally get in, they rip his shirt off and they hold him in the air, and it's like, man, it looks like just pure savagery. And it's like, you think you can just come in and introduce democracy to these people?
I know we kind of touched on this already, but whose story is it? What do they want? What do they need? And does the movie make us care?
I don't know. It's hard because I don't feel like there's really a protagonist.
I'm going to try applying it to Eversman. So he wants to, I don't know what he wants really, maybe to be a good leader. He needs to, I feel like throughout the movie he's very emotional and like always looking backwards, and like Hoot tells him, right? It's like, you need to stop looking backwards and thinking and start focusing on like right now and getting your men out. Like, you can worry about what you did wrong or what went wrong later, but right now what your focus should be on the task at hand to help your men, because you're the leader. You're the leader of the squad. Does the movie make us care? A little bit. I mean, I feel like I can't be really critical of this person, because I feel like that'd be a very hard situation to be in. He wasn't really even supposed to be in command.
True.
He got put in command last minute. But there is a lot of situations where he's erratic when he needs to be calm and collected more. Like even when he's on the radio with the captain, he's freaking out about things instead of communicating clearly. But yeah, it's tough situation. Overall, I feel like there's some things I like about the movie, as far as I think it's very well made, and like none of it seems cheesy.
I agree.
Or not well connected. It seems very cohesive. But I think for like a score or rating, I would probably fall like a 7 on it.
I was going to give it a 7.5.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoyed the movie. I didn't feel like it was like a boring movie by any means. Like, you're very engaged the whole time. But I think that, I don't know, I hated how I felt while I was watching it. Like, I don't want to watch it again because it actually makes my blood boil. Like, it makes me so mad that Americans died in Somalia. Like, it actually pisses me off.
Yeah, totally see that.
It just makes me so upset. Like, I don't even have any members of my family who are like military either, and I still feel like personally annoyed by it.
Yeah, especially in our current circumstances with, you know, just understanding more about the needlessness of things, of people going into combat or being involved in conflicts we shouldn't be involved in. Or
here's the craziest part, man. Have you followed any of the news in the last week about all the Somalis in Minnesota?
No, I have not.
Committing billions and billions of taxpayer fraud?
No.
Yeah. So basically, we invaded Somalia. We then felt bad about what we had done, and we took a bunch of refugees back into Minnesota. And a bunch of people from Somalia have still been going into Minnesota at like really high rates.
Right.
And they've just been making up random nonprofits, daycares, learning facilities, autism centers, and taking billions of dollars from the state and from the federal government, posing as actual like autism centers or daycares.
But they're not doing anything.
They're not doing a thing. They're just taking taxpayer dollars. So it's like we go to Somalia, we have Americans dying there. We take them back into our country and they screw us by stealing our money. And it's like, why are we taking in the enemy? What are we thinking? Why are we bringing in people from the most dysfunctional place on the planet and expecting them to act like a Joe Schmo, your next door neighbor, white picket fence, grilling up a hot dog? Nice to see you, pal. Like, they're not learning English and they're stealing our money.
Right.
And they don't like us.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Definitely crazy. I've heard a little bit about, now that you brought it up, actually, some of those fraudulent businesses and organizations. I remember seeing some stuff about it.
It's crazy.
I feel like this is a downer of an episode for us.
It is, man. It made me mad. That's literally how I felt the whole movie. I was just pissed. I was just like, man, I'm just, ugh.
Yeah, wild movie.
Absolutely wild. But if you like action and you want to just turn your brain off and not really think about how much our government has screwed us, it's a great movie. But if you're like me and you like politics a little too much, yeah, don't watch it.
Doesn't make my top 20 of the 21st century.
No, I don't even think it makes top 50.
I think I had more than 20 on my list, so...
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us on Real Legends Podcast. This is a bit of a different episode for us. If you haven't listened to our other episodes like Star Wars or Raiders of the Lost Ark or Napoleon Dynamite or The Godfather, go check those out. I'm sure you'll love our thoughts and takes on the movie. And it's a bit different than this one. This one just hits different. It's kind of a gritty / politically charged, historically charged movie. And yeah, we'll be back this next year with some new formats, some new movies, and maybe even some new bonus episodes where we go out and see some of 2026's cinema. So we will catch you next time at the cinema concession stand.
Catch you on the flippity flop.